What's up, everybody? This is EEPMON, and you are tuned in to the Late Night Channel Eeps. Today, I want to talk about something that's been ongoing in my career as a digital artist, and it's a word or a phrase or sentence that I've been um, asked many a times when I show my work, and it is it hand drawn? Is it hand drawn? It's like, oh, it looks great, love it. Is it hand drawn? Now, one of the reasons why this is one of my biggest pet peeves is because, as I mentioned in my previous episodes, I'll be like, yes, it is hand drawn. Maybe not with a pencil, may not be painted with a paintbrush or a stencil or, any other quote unquote recognizable medium in a recognizable traditional institutional setting. Rather, it has been created using, a stylus, a keyboard, perhaps a trackpad, a tablet. I don't know if you can see it. I've got a tablet. All these are tools which so happens use my left and right hand. So technically, yes, it is hand drawn. It's just the tools are different. But I think that is something that people can understand. And when I think about that question, is it hand drawn? A little bit deeper, the real question, I believe, what they're asking is, how do I know that what you're creating is truly unique? Meaning, is it a one of one? How do I know if it's a one of 10, a series? Because to many people, technology is a means to increase productivity, and we have the notion of creating files and sending files, and idea of copy and paste, multiple copies of a same file. So like, how am I supposed to assess an artwork's valuation if it is so easy to replicate it many times over and over and over and over? And then therefore, where does it have a place in the halls of, fine arts or the institution? So I think there's always been quite a disconnect from what I observe when people ask me that question: is it hand drawn? And of course it is. But let's be fair, if I think about it too, like, as digital content creators, clearly it is a creative medium. Let's be honest here. A lot of people are using technology to express themselves creatively, whether it be art, performance, experiential. So that is the missing gap to bridge what seems to be analog and digital worlds, to live cohesively together in harmony, I guess. So along came blockchain. And for those who are not familiar with this technology, it is an attempt, and I think it does a pretty good job, that finally addresses this gap that has been pervading and plaguing sort of like this notion of, is it hand drawn, and therefore how do I guarantee that there's that what you say is what you say? This is like an original artwork or something like that. Because what blockchain does, it's a ledger. It's a public ledger that that basically tells everyone that this particular digital content, or this is a tokenization of an item or an asset, an artwork, or anything, and it tells the world that this has been created by this person, and can only be in existence for the world to see. You can't fudge it. You cannot. It's non-fungible. That's why the concept of NFTs is called non-fungible token. It means that it's immutable. You cannot change it. It is there, stuck in a state in blockchain for the world to see. So I think that because of this new technology, well, it's not that new anymore, but still adoption is still quite slow. But I do believe that blockchain technology will become part of our day-to-day lives, whether you like it or not. And this is ever more important for especially the creator economy in the digital ecosystem. So for me, I felt vindicated, actually. Like, I was like, wow, finally I can create artwork using digitally, and kind of like for the first time, I can say, yes, you can guarantee that you are getting an original because it resides on the blockchain there, and it is there for the world to see. It's a standard where everyone can put their work, or whatever it is, the tokenization of assets that will show its scarcity, that cannot be fudged or changed or altered. So I think that's a very important thing. And I think that is going to be prevalent throughout as we move forward as time goes by. It's going to be massively adopted. That's how I feel about it. So yeah, so that's how I feel about the whole system right now. But let's take a step back. Let's not even talk about technology. Like, I want to give a scenario where, okay, well, how can you guarantee its scarcity? How can you guarantee the authenticity? I even dare say, let's not even talk about the technology side of it. It's still an issue within the traditional institutions, the very analog side of things, in fact. For example, it was it's been a bit of a rude awakening in a way, because I not so long ago bought a very nice print from a very, I would like to say, renowned artist, okay, from this gallery. They're based in California, who collects, and they sell these prints, and then in their description, in their information about, okay, you buy this print, this is what you get from it. You get is an original boxing case of where the print originally came from. You would also get the certificate of authenticity that comes with this artwork. So I thought, oh great, that's the ledger. There it is. There's the information. It comes in the box. It has everything's intact. Everything's to its original form. And when I received this print, the fact is, it did not come in its original box. Okay, because I know what the original box is supposed to be. And secondly, I never got that letter or a certificate of authenticity they were proclaiming, that this has been certified. So I emailed them and I go, hey, first of all, the box is not its original packaging, and by the way, your certificate of authenticity is missing. That's like, the print is legitimate, but come on, if you're coming from a gallery and you expect a certain level of checks and balances, due diligence to ensure that when you're sending an expensive print over, you better make sure that you're getting what you're advertising. So, so they reply back, oh, sorry, we'll send that to you. Okay, great. So I expected that they would mail it back to me. Instead, I got an email of a PDF attachment of the certificate. The letter or certificate of authenticity was, in fact, just a PDF file saying that this has been blah, 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 blah by this gallery. And that was an eye opener for me because I realized, wow, this means that even all the galleries all over the world have their own way of authenticating. There's no unified standard. There's no every gallery has their way of quote unquote quality assure, authenticate. There's no standard, even in the traditional world. So they're the idea of like accountability and ledger in the analog way of art dealing is definitely not to the standard and quality top notch that I was expecting. In fact, I do believe that, as I mentioned earlier, blockchain is the answer to finally address these underlying issues, both analog and digital. Both of those worlds, whether you're creating content for each one, rely on a ledger that speaks the truth, not trust. You need something that shows the world the truth of where its original source and a standardization so that everyone can upheld to the top to the utmost quality and expectation of documenting assets, including art. So that was quite an eye opening for me. So people who tell me, oh well, it's digital, we can't trust it. Well, actually, you know what? You can't trust digital. Maybe you look at your own backyard and look at your own world and ask yourself, do you trust the traditional institutions? Because I don't think they don't have their stuff together. So yeah, I thought I would do a little talk about that, about the whole is it hand drawn? Because really the question is how can I guarantee that what you say is what you say and I can trust you? And then I would actually fire back and go, well, how can you trust yourself and what you think you trust? Is it really trust? Is it truthful? Right? But the cracks are showing, folks. The cracks are showing. I do believe that the facade is starting to unravel and reveal its true nature of how things aren't the way they're supposed to be. Anyway, I thought that was just my thoughts on that. And I will continue to draw by hand with my stylus and keyboard and code or whatever. Because I am an artist at the end of the day. It's just the tools I use are different. That's all it is. Hope you enjoy this episode. Like, comment, subscribe to the Late Night Channel Eps. And I would love your thoughts too. What you think about, digital art, analog versus digital, what have you. If there's anything you'd like me to talk about as well, maybe I could provide some of my perspective as well. Just leave a comment as well. Blah, blah, blah. I say as well as a lot. I got to stop doing that. Okay. It's a long day, folks, again. I apologize. Long day. But I thought I would talk about this. And yeah. Have a great evening. Enjoy the long weekend. And until next time. This is Episode 6 of the Late Night Channel Eps. Bye-bye.